morning, folks. Today we've got to look at our star in multiple wavelengths. We've got some solid magnetic field articles. And after giving climate a day off yesterday, well, hello again. Starting with our star at spaceweathernews.com, we find the last day on the sun was relatively quiet, especially on the Earth-facing half. Coronal holes continue turning in, and let's get a fuller look at those structures in 211 angstroms. Slightly different shine from ionized iron, made to really bring out the coronal holes versus denser regions. One small eruption just over the limb fired a CME this morning. It was the same area that fired that last one 90 degrees away from Earth. No concern here. As for what we are watching now, there are a number of plasma filaments writhing around in the corona. We're eyeing those for eruptive potential, especially with the only sunspots on the disk about to turn out of view. Let's go to seismicity up next. Top quake of the day was a 6.4 in the Solomon Islands, but I also want to mention 4.5 is yet another high mark in La Palma for the ongoing sequence. That one was in the early hours this morning. We've come to the September climate report next, where they share the 100-year comparison because it supports the global warming story, while the 30-year averages, a better trend indicator, shows much more blue. Now let's see some of the areas in the world more specifically. Look at all the red and the white. That white near-average cheat is how they take away blue in the map they share to the public. We're going to see the same thing where deep red here is spread, and actually lighter reds and more expanded blues come into the picture when we look over the 30-year trends. The worst was in the Pacific, though. Not sure what the idea is here, taking away all that blue, when the big global weather news the last couple of days is the return of La Nina. Like they're trying to hide it here or something. When their charting method erases the La Nina they're chatting about in the blogs, you know there is a major problem. And yes, it is cherry-picking to look at the internal variability low temps of the mid-1800s, low point of a long cycle. And when you compare the 30-year averages, it tells you we've already begun to hit the cresting peak of the modern pattern. Up next, it's solar system water. Europa up first, and they're detecting water vapor in its atmosphere.